I'm just gonna go ahead and be emotional. I'm actually really pissed off about the new update.
I'm going to chime in and give my 2 cents about the latest update from the Jehovah's Witness governing body regarding the education new light. I wasn't actually going to make a video about it, but then this morning I was telling about it to my 17-year-old daughter, and she was 10 when I disassociated myself, so she still has quite a lot of memories of like going to meetings and, you know, knocking on doors and that sort of lifestyle. And what I will say is she does feel traumatized by it, so I wish I'd have left sooner. My youngest was 7. He doesn't really, well, he's 14 now. But anyway, I was telling my daughter about this new update and how in the past year there have been so many new lights from the governing body. And please go and watch the original video. I am stitching this because I feel this is kind of very it represents how many of us actually feel about all this, especially those who have left. So yes, I was telling my daughter about these new lights, you know, that the men are finally allowed to have beards, women can wear trousers as long as they're smart, that witnesses can now clean glasses, something that wasn't allowed when I was there, and I left in 2018. And now the latest update on if someone, the governing body, Mr. David Splain, was splaining away about how if anyone wants to get additional education, it's now a matter of personal preference. So when I first joined Jehovah's Witnesses in 1996, it was an absolute no-no. In fact, some people who had joined at a similar time as me were actually young people who were in universities, and they left, and they left the universities and they stopped their education, even things like A-level equivalent, because they were convinced that Armageddon's coming, is just around the corner. They went to like work in Bethel for nothing, you know. And so many people gave up on education. And I just did like the basic. I didn't finish my A-levels either. Now later on, I did do some distance learning in privacy in my home because you just can't get a decent job unless you do have some sort of education. I'm sorry, but it's true. You know, if you want a good job and a career, you have to do something. You have to educate yourself or get a skill. And all of this, to me, is how on earth the people in the organisation are not waking up to the fact that Jehovah's Witness organisation is a business. It's a business, and they're being manipulated by what suits the business. So to me, I'm seeing it, and my daughter felt absolutely shocked about it, and she said, "Mom, you need to do a video about it because it's absolutely crazy how they can do that." For 150 years, it was not okay to have beards for men. It was not okay to get education. It was not okay for women to wear trousers. It was not okay to clean glasses. And in the last year or so, what's changed? I'll tell you what's changed. First of all, they got rid of Anthony Morris. I guess he was probably the obstacle in them changing their new light. Because for them to pass something on, all the governing body members have to agree on it. It has to be unanimous. So that's one thing. Second thing is the business is failing. Young people are leaving. You know, more people are waking up. So what a better way to say, oh no, we're not a cult. We're not a cult. We don't. Yeah, you know, you can go and get your education if you want. want. It's a personal choice. You're not going to be punished for it anymore. You're not going to be penalised. So all the old people, the people my age, I'm 44 by the way, I know I don't look it, with a filter on, all the people who are over like 20, 30, 40, 50, they've all missed out on education, all missed out on bettering their lives, and now suddenly it's allowed. That is like such part of narcissistic abuse. It is such a U-turn on so many things that even if I was still in it, I'd be like, whoa, you just, this is not right. If you're saying you are the truth, then I'd be starting to think there's something wrong with the governing body changing all these things in the past year or so. If people aren't starting to question that this is all a lie, I don't know. I don't know how can they stay in and go along with all this new light and not question that this is a manipulation and that this is a business. They want the young people to stay, they want the young people to join, and because the young people with their better education and better careers can give the organisation more money. It's all about money. That's all it is. They need new members. They need the young people to stay and to bring in the donations and the free labour. And who do they get in the Bethels to do all the work of a doctor, a lawyer, all those high end? They need to bring in new people who have those qualifications so that they can carry on with their lawsuits over, child abuse and have the doctors in house and the surgeons in house and whatnot. Simple. And unfortunately, there'll be people who will not wake up. Who'll think like, oh yeah, but we're not a cult, and look how Jehovah's allowing us to do this and that. It was always allowed. The stuff that the governing body has been interpreting from Bible has been completely wrong. None of the things, nothing about birthdays or clinking glasses or, like education, none of that, none of those forbidden things have ever been in the Bible. They don't exist. It is just someone's idea. We think we'd prefer our flock to do this. How do we make the scriptures fit to justify what we're going to say? And now that no longer fits, oh, look at that, there's a new light. Oh, look at that, the Bible specifically doesn't say. It never did. It never did. So yes, I think a lot of exjw people in the community, I think they're feeling very angry because a lot of them lost out. I lost out on education. Now I've gone back into education, but I could have already done all the things I wanted to do. I could have already had the degree and the career and the path that I wanted to take. So we all lost out. And for them to turn around and say, oh, look, you see, we're not a cult, you can come back. It is actually really, really sickening. So thank you for watching. And thanks to my daughter for encouraging me to make this video. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be new lights soon again about something. Maybe birthdays. Maybe they can finally do birthdays and Christmas. It wouldn't surprise me.